Hey everyone, welcome back to 22 Panels. This is the podcast that aims to examine, explore, and elevate the medium of comics. I am Tyler, wearing my Napalm Death this morning. I am in a Napalm Death kind of mood. And across the interwebs from me is Tad. Good morning, Tad. What are
I'm
you
wearing my
wearing?
kitty,
Oh, your cat. Nice. I love it.
Matt, my Matt Memorial sweatshirt.
Yeah. I need to make one for my pugs. Like every time I have lose a pug, because we're a pug family, and
Right.
I'll get a new pug t-shirt, But how are things?
Busy, busy.
Hmm.
Been doing a lot of reading, doing a lot of writing lately. Um, Various things,
Yeah.
and yeah, so busy, busy, busy. As will become apparent when we compare our distance in our One Piece race.
Okay. All right.
Uh, um,
I don't know
but
what to take that, whether you're way ahead of me or behind.
well, we'll find out when we get there, won't
Yeah.
we?
Okay. All right.
Um, so yeah, busy, busy, busy. But mostly in good ways.
Yeah, me too.
Mostly in good ways.
I've been reading a lot this week. I finally am at a point where I'm just relaxing a little bit and able to just
Yeah.
read.
Yeah. Got to go to the Cubs game on Tuesday night.
Nice. Who they play?
Dodgers jumped out. Dodgers jumped out to a 3-0 lead in the first inning.
Okay.
Cubs took it back and they were up 5-3 at the end of one. Um, at one point the Cubs were up 7-4,
Okay.
and then the Dodgers were up 10-7, and then the Cubs tied it when Miguel Amaya hit a solo home run in the bottom of the ninth with two outs to push us into extras. So extra innings tied at 10. We managed to wiggle out of the 10th inning without giving up a run. And then on the very first pitch of the um 10th inning on the Cubs side, Ian Happ hit a solid single to right that was more than good enough to bring Vital Brujan all the way around from second, where he'd been put because of the dumb rule that extra innings start with a runner on base. But I'll take the win.
Yeah. I mean, so
And it
so it
was a
was kind
crazy
of
game. 20 running runs scored. And we actually saw some pretty solid pitching performances. It's just that their mistakes got hammered on both sides.
good day. So
Yeah.
it sounds a little boring, but no, I'm just kidding. Sounds exciting.
It was sensory overload.
I bet. I bet. That's awesome.
Um, yeah, yeah. But in a mostly good way.
Good.
So yeah, yeah, I had a good week. I had a good week. Um,
I
I
same.
don't
I Go
okay,
ahead.
go ahead. No, 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 no,
Well,
no. We're still on your week, so we should do your week before I jump into news.
oh no, I was just gonna say, like I talked to you and personally was that my librarian manager or the head librarian, she has asked me to start getting creators if I can to
Yeah.
Zoom with well she
Groups.
groups. Yeah, we can do all ages. We can do
Right.
the all ages books. We could do the middle school. We could do the adult stuff.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I just haven't quite, and I was going to ask you for your help. You can think about this in deciding a format, right? I don't want it to just be a free for all for whatever creator is
I
talking,
mean,
and
the
then
way I would do it is
yeah,
is is like Comic-Con setup where it's um start with a moderated discussion and then have a Q&A at the end where one person at a time can ask questions. If you find yourself worried about it getting out of control, you can even have it where like they have to ask their questions in like a thread, and some moderator chooses which questions to put on, but like
no, I
you don't
don't think
have
it'll
to
get
give
out
the
of
mic to
control.
anybody.
No, I'm
Right.
anticipating about, I don't know, hopefully 10 to 15 people.
Right.
Um, but anywho,
Yeah. Oh.
that's what I got going on. That's going to be my
But yeah, I mean,
goal.
play around with whatever version of Zoom the library has to use,
Yep.
and see what can be made in terms of rooms, in terms of what kind of meeting is set up. I know that you can set it up where like nobody shows up on screen except the ones that you want to show up on screen when you want them to show up on screen.
Yep.
So it
Yep.
can essentially be a webinar for everybody until when and if you pluck them to say, okay, Joe has a question.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. That sounds good.
So,
Well, I'm
or if
really
you have
excited
trouble
about
doing
that.
that, you could even have it be put your questions in the comments. We'll pick ones to ask and have it be like they don't actually talk to
Okay.
the writer, but their questions get asked. You
Yeah, that's a
know,
good idea.
again, you've got lots of different options.
So, and then I've also got funding to
And
purchase books for.
any librarians listening who may have done this, they can email us at 22panelspodcast@gmail.com with their ideas.
Yeah, because we're also purchasing. We have funds to purchase books
Yeah,
for the patrons that come in and listen. They
right,
get a
right,
copy so that they can, I
right.
don't know, read the material, right? And
Speaking of patrons, we will accept patrons at 22panels patreon.com. Because, comics are expensive.
very, they're getting worse.
And,
They're gonna get
and they're
worse.
sending more and more free ones to us, but Tyler likes the physical stuff to touch. And I kind
Yeah,
of do
and
too, but yeah.
yeah, yeah. I read digitally, but like if it's somebody that I like, like the
No,
creators
I
that are sending
understand.
you
I
stuff,
totally get it. I totally
I
get
don't
it.
want their digital stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of like what's totally necessary for the show, I have trouble saying that I need the money for the physical stuff to be able to review it.
I
Does
get
that
it.
make sense?
Yes. No, you're totally in correct in the way you are handling things. I'm just kind of I don't like to pre-plan for things. So
No, that I get too. That I get too. And again, I am mostly just like tempering my ad plug to us.
yes, yes, yes. So if you would like
I mean,
to
don't get me
donate,
wrong. If you want to donate $1,000 a month to us, 500 for Tyler, 500 for me, that would
yeah.
handle our comic habits very well. In fact, our stores would be really happy because we would be upping our habits a little bit.
I'd probably buy, you know, I'd
Right.
probably buy
Um,
everything.
if you want to become a $4,000 a month patron, then we could almost turn this into a real job. But we both kind of like teaching, so I don't know if we would. But we'd certainly live much more comfortably.
I would definitely scale back. I probably wouldn't work for a public high school. What I probably
Yeah,
would do was, private art lessons on the side.
right. I don't
Yeah.
know for certain what I do.
Yeah.
I think I'd probably continue working for the public high school, but um Kelly would be able to choose a lot more when
What
and
she
if she
wanted to do.
decided to do extra jobs. Um, yeah, it would just give us a lot more breathing space.
Yeah.
And it's kind of insane that we're talking about relatively small amounts of money a month in the grand scheme of things
And it
would
would
give
make a huge
so much
difference.
more breathing space.
It would make a huge difference.
Um, but trillionaire's got a trillionaire.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess officially we don't have any trillionaires yet, but you know what I mean. Yet is a way more operating term than it should be. um,
Agreed.
I'm just saying, like when you have to differentiate that, no, none of them are quite trillionaires. Maybe things have gone off the rails. Just a thought.
Yep.
Just a thought. In comics news,
Yeah.
Alliance has pulled out of its diamond bid,
Hmm.
which presumably means that the um, Universal ad populum bid will now be accepted. Um, I mean, people in the industry have indicated that that's the one that they liked better, even though it's smaller. I don't know. I'm always kind of be careful what you wish for when it's what the bankrupt people want, even though it's less money.
Yes, I
I
agree.
mean, yes, Alliance was more interested in toys, but they weren't necessarily uninterested in the comics, and Alliance already has its own distribution network for toys that might have been able to expand to some comics, whereas I don't know how Universal distribution or ad populum actually expand
Yeah.
on the diamond distribution market. Um, we'll see.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, really, to a certain extent, this whole thing has played out so long that the distributors are now PRH and Lunar. We'll see if anybody, and we'll see if anything truly rises from the Diamond Ashes to be
A contender,
something
you
that we
know.
care about.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. Yeah.
which is still weird because Diamond was the only game in town for so long.
I know.
So, right.
This is the
So,
whole thing is a new playground.
in more interesting news, and I love anytime I see this, and we did our page versus scroll comparison of Money Shot a while back, and
Yep.
now we've got some more ones to possibly look at, because IDW has partnered with Webtoon and they launched hard with Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, They Call This Enemy, Lock and Key, Sonic the Hedgehog, Godzilla, and more.
Hmm.
Already have scrolling chapters available on Webtoons. And it looks like they're even doing it where, and I've only played with it a little bit because it literally went live, I think, yesterday or Friday, and I haven't, um, I didn't know about it until today. But like, um, it seems like they're using a model where, um, uh, thought I added them to my series. Why aren't they in my series already? Bastards. Oh, let's look at that. There we go. So it looks like what they have right out of the bat is like right now there are 3 episodes available. If you get free pass or pay coins, there are already 5 more episodes available that will be otherwise available once a week. So like you
Okay.
can get ahead by paying, or they become free on a weekly basis. So there is a monetization model, which is not bad, but it's also stuff that's already available in print for purchase. So if people love it, they can um possibly hopefully like go look at non-scrolling comics.
Hmm.
Um, but hopefully it represents a new revenue stream for creators, for IDW to be able to pay creators, and to further expand the comic market
Right.
to people who already like comics because they like webtoons. But I mean, we've commented a lot on like how the different comic markets don't manage to cross over enough.
No, they don't.
I
No.
love, I mean, how many people who read tons of webtoons don't think they like comics? No, I just read webtoons.
Yep.
Well, those are comics.
Yep. Exactly. Uh,
You know,
yeah, I had the same
or
I
or
had the
or I
same
hate comics, but I love Raina Telgemeier. Well, those are comics. Oh, I thought they were just books.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
know, I mean, the only real problem I have with that, like as a teacher, I know how easy it is to grow out of a medium if you don't see other things in that medium that appeal to you.
Yep. Yep.
How many people think cartoons are just kid stuff?
Right.
How many people think that film is inferior to prose rather than different to prose? And that's
Exactly.
before
Yeah.
we even get into comics, which are already the most maligned medium. This is the one
Correct.
place that I'll play victim.
I agree.
Except in
Yeah.
Japan. In Japan, they appreciate us very much. Thank you.
Yes, they do. Speaking of Japan, just as totally side note, I just got a subscription to Crunchyroll
Yeah.
for my sons and I. So we can, well, they're already into anime. They already know what
Right,
they're
right,
watching.
right, right.
I just starting
So is this did you do Crunchyroll like through Amazon or just the actual Crunchyroll?
the actual Crunchyroll. Yeah.
Does it still include manga too?
No, I don't believe so. I am, let me
Okay,
look.
because that used to be that it was both.
Oh,
You,
yeah. I
it had
don't
a
believe so.
deep manga library and it had the anime library.
Well, that's sweet. I'll be checking it out really extensively. I just purchased it this
Yeah.
weekend for the boys.
And like a lot of the same materials. So like you had the option to read or watch.
Mm. I'll have
Um,
to look, I'll have to explore it a little bit more. I really haven't. So you're looking at the plans right now. I'm on the Mega Fan one for me and my son so that we could have four devices on at the same
right.
time.
Yeah,
Uh
it's not saying any, it's talking about a game vault, but it's not talking about um it's not talking about manga. So maybe they dumped the manga as Viz and whatnot started upping their games.
it might have, but
Yeah.
it's been really fun.
Yeah, no,
Um
it's something that I have considered too, just because um
well,
like
my
in Japan, manga and anime are so tied together. Like
yes.
we're very used to TV cartoons and comic books being almost completely separate things.
Yes.
You know, even when they're adapting the comic, they will often change major things.
Hmm.
Um, the way I understand it, like anime adaptations of manga are much more faithful.
Correct. Yeah. I started One Piece, man. That talk about faithful to what we've read.
Right.
I was
Like I've
almost
heard
dialed.
that there are some chapters that it's skipped and some characters that don't appear in the anime that do appear in the manga and maybe a couple that are the other way around or a
Sure.
couple whose roles got expanded in the anime versus the manga, you know. But that's something with thousands of episodes
Yep.
because
Yep.
it has almost as many episodes as it has
Yeah. Like, I mean,
individual.
just talking about One Piece for a second, and I know we'll get to it in a little bit, but like, I was able, we just watched the first episode, my daughter and wife and and I was almost, I could tell you exactly almost verbatim what was going to happen. It was so close.
Right, right. Um, and part of that is the cinematic style of
Manga, you know what I mean?
manga, but a lot of that is like they have always viewed animation as an extension of comics rather than an extension of film.
True.
At least that's how it feels to me, if that makes sense.
Yep.
It's actually one of the reasons why Miyazaki is so unique. He's like the one guy making animated films in Japan that are just animated films that sometimes become manga, but weren't necessarily manga first, where they were envisioned as films rather than. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it's not like he doesn't still have the strong influence and background in manga. It's just that like rather than turning his animation career into adapting others' manga or writing more manga that he would then adapt into animation, when he made the switch over, he started exploring the new medium as its own medium. Um, yeah. I don't know enough about Miyazaki. I feel like I have officially spoken as intelligently as I can on him, and I
Hmm.
may have made mistakes. So once again, if anybody wants to correct me, 22 panels podcast at gmail.com, reach out.
Hmm.
uh, yeah. So
Cool.
our obligatory, what kind of week has it been?
Oh, there's all kinds of stuff.
At least three minor U.S. citizens, two of them with serious health issues, have been deported with their
Yes.
mothers.
Yep.
Reportedly, it was because their mothers wanted to take them with them. Um, but since their mothers weren't allowed to talk to lawyers or family or anybody in between checking in with ICE as required under the details of their awaiting asylum claims. In
Hmm.
other words, these weren't even, not only were these not criminals, these were people who came to check in with ICE because that's part of what you're supposed to do when you're in the country without a visa awaiting decisions on asylum claims or getting a visa after the fact or whatever.
Yeah.
In other words, they did things the way they were supposed to and were arrested and immediately deported with children who had cancer.
Yeah. I think we can drop the pretense that ICE is looking to deport
Oh, and let
illegal
me also make
immigrants.
it really, really clear with U.S. citizen children who
Yes.
had cancer.
Yeah. I know, man. It's just I think we can drop the BS. I mean, not you and I, but like the world that we're looking for illegal immigrants. I mean, what we're doing
Well,
is
I mean, their argument is they are illegal immigrants. They didn't come into the country legally. And it's like, well, you know what? Sometimes when your home country is dangerous, you can't manage to get a visa or you apply for a visa, but you're waiting on finding out whether you're going to get the visa. So you start walking from Honduras in the
Mhm.
hopes that when you get to the US border, it will turn out that your application has been processed.
I I know.
I mean, like, sit back and think for a second, particularly the nation that we've had that has villainized immigrants the way that it has over the last few years. What life do you have to be leaving to put yourself through that hardship?
Yeah, it's exactly my point. I mean, countries all over the world are saying, "Don't go to America. What are you doing?"
Right.
Yeah.
What are you putting yourself through to go through that hardship?
Hmm. It's got to be a
And
real
you know
hellhole.
what? I'll tell you right now that many of
Uh-huh.
them would happily stop in Mexico if the American guns weren't all over the place.
Hmm.
If there weren't jobs for them here more than there were in Mexico. I mean, they're not taking jobs. It would not be easy for them to come all that distance and manage to take jobs. There are jobs available that we
Right.
need
I
people
mean,
for.
we're finding, I mean, many areas are finding that out right now as all
Right.
of their workers have been vamos.
Deported or
Yep.
or didn't need to
Imprisoned.
come this year.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
again, large numbers of the people who come here aren't really coming here because, oh, I want to go to this great ass, wonderful place. We're the best of bad options.
Right. Yes. They're like, I don't know what else to do. I guess I'll go to US. I know. It's I know. I don't know what to say.
I don't either. Uh, yeah.
I don't know how to help. I mean, the it is very
Keep
clear.
talking about it. Keep talking about how no, this isn't normal. No, this isn't legal. No, they're not criminals. Um,
I
yeah.
mean, the situation with the Garcia from Maryland, uh wow. How how did this get so bad? And
That that
you know what I mean? And like I just don't understand. Do you think what do you think happened? The Trump administration made a mistake and deported him, and they're like, you know what? We're not going to admit this. We're going to double down.
I mean, they admitted that it was a mistake. They
Then
just
why? But why won't they
decided
bring him in?
that, oh, there's nothing we can do.
But why? Because
Why?
we
Because
know
they
there is.
wanted
Why?
to know if they could get away with it.
Okay.
Because if they can get away with it with him, the next thing is they're going to see if they can get away with it with U.S. citizens, like they just did. And they can get away with it with U.S. citizens. They're only U.S. citizens because they were born here and their parents aren't citizens. They're gonna take it up a notch. And
Yep.
oh, we didn't mean to send that brown protester to a country that nobody in his family has ever lived in. But now that he's there, we can't get him back. And if that works, all bets are off. Because all
True.
they have to do is get you out of the country before anybody notices, and your due process rights are gone.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. I just been trying to figure out like why are they making this man an example? Like what?
Well, I mean, they would have much preferred that he not be an example. They would have much preferred that like the people fighting against them had not noticed that there was some egregious mistakes,
Yep. Yep.
and or that they hadn't managed to identify any of them. But
Hmm.
once they've dug in, they're not backing down because if they
Yeah.
bring him home, uh, if they bring him home, it makes it harder to do the next one.
Yeah.
Particularly because now you have somebody who will say what it's like to be inside the worst prison in the world.
Hmm.
We understand nobody has ever been released from the prison that he's in.
Yeah. It would set a
Ever.
dangerous. It would set a precedent for El Salvador for sure. Um.
Right. So, yeah. Yeah. That's the why.
Okay.
Um,
So bright and beautiful butterflies and rainbows and fairy tales.
yeah.
This is
So
why.
how
This
about
is.
we talk about some new
I would
comics?
love to. What's going on?
And we're gonna have to reach out to I mention that I met Dan Parent at C2E2?
No, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna have to reach out to him sooner rather than later because he I think he only is doing covers for these, but he's like one of the big Archie guys. We have a couple of major Archie things coming up. We have Archie meets Jay and Silent Bob, which
Why not?
I don't even know. I don't even. It looks like Archie will be having a summer job at the Quick Stop. I
Okay. Snoochie
Randall will
boochies.
be crashing a Pussycats concert.
Okay.
My question is, will Archie inhale?
I've
Similarly, over at Dark Horse, we have Archie versus Minor Threats. Patton Oswalt, Jordan Bloom, and Timmy Heeg with Scott Koblish, where the Riverdale crowd is colliding with the crooked super criminals of Twilight City. So, um, like all I have to say is like Tyler and I were late to the party, but first of all, Archie's pretty awesome. Second of all, these are the type of things that make Archie pretty awesome, or
yeah.
that make him really awesome rather than just pretty awesome. I don't know how we want to phrase it. Um, so I am very much on board. Um, thank you, Tom, and thank you, Dan, for finally showing us the error in our ways.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
teaching
like you
us
said,
that
we're
Archie
late to
comics
Archie.
aren't just comics, but they're good comics.
Yeah. Uh yeah, we're late to the game, but I guarantee we're gonna both pick up these comics. Both of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So how about you, Tyler? You picked this one out. This one looks cool.
Yeah, Ghost Pepper looks really cool from Ludo Lullaby. And yeah, humanity survived a monstrous threat, but the world isn't better for everyone. Every day, Loloi hits the road to deliver her delicious cooking to the masses, outsmarting her treacherous competition and staying one step ahead of the massive robots protecting them all. But everything changes when she serves a mysterious warrior named Ash, whose secrets might just save the world. If his superhuman strength doesn't destroy it first. This will be in shops July 16th from Image. Looks
Well, I'm
cool.
just going to add this great tagline from right before
Oh, sure.
what I highlighted for you: Forgotten heroes, cutthroat food trucks, and saving the world again.
Yeah, it looks cool.
We got a couple of new Hellboy books too.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Tell
do
us
a
about it.
this one's Hellboy and the BPRD. Let's see, I'm scrolling down my screen here.
Professor
Professor Harvey.
Harvey is gone,
Yeah, Professor Harvey is gone. One shot.
which I
A
think actually says it all.
yeah, a paranoid antiquities professor goes missing, and Hellboy's research for him takes a dangerous turn when the same person who is after the professor might be after Hellboy at all. Mike Mignola writes, and Giuseppe, who is Giuseppe, what's his last name? Oh
Oh,
well.
sorry.
No, you just moved the
Uh,
screen on me.
no. Like I said, sorry. Giuseppe Manunta.
Manunta. Yeah, this is going to be in shops August 27th, you guys.
I
And then
just I
we've got,
just noticed that we had another one that came up as a 404 because it somehow managed to move since I bookmarked it yesterday.
well, our next one is Hellboy in Love, and Tad is looking for the description for that. But
What's the
the
is
Art of
it the
Fire.
Art of Fire? There we go. Okay.
Yep. Hellboy in Love, the
Oh,
Art of.
no.
Yep.
Oh,
All right. Well, we'll skip that one.
it's a thing
Yeah.
that we don't have a description on right now because
So that's Mike
it's
Mignola and
down it's down at PRH. So
Christopher.
yeah, it's a continuation of the other Hellboy in Love. So it's got the girl in the baseball cap. Uh, and that's most of what we need to know right now because
Yeah,
I knew
let
more
me finish
yesterday.
giving let me finish giving the title here.
Yeah.
Hellboy in Love, The Art of the Fire, number one is Mike Mignola, Christopher Golden, Alex Nieto from Dark Horse coming out August 8th. 6th,
Yeah.
excuse me, August 6th.
Kevin Smith returns with Quick Stops Volume 3 with John Sprengelmeyer. From Dark Horse Comics in stores August 13th. Holden McNeil and Banky Edwards are best known for creating the smoking hot superhero comic book Blunt Man and Chronic, a tour de force of dick and fart joke genre. For Holden, it's a way to pay the bills, but he longs to create the kind of art he and Banky did at the beginning of their career, something personal, something that means something. Enter Alyssa Jones, the coolest girl in the world, and someone who might mean something. This is the comic Holden wrote about her, a comic about love, a comic about insecurity, a comic about growth, a comic about chasing Amy. In stores August 13th.
Yeah, Kevin Smith is bringing his old properties back into the limelight. It's cool.
I've been enjoying the quicks. I love my Viewist universe, man. What do you
I
mean
do too.
back into the limelight? It never left the damn limelight. The limelight
It-
may have dimmed at times. He's a
uh,
one-trick pony, and I love it.
but you know what? He does it really well. When he veers off of what he does, like Yoga Hosers, is that one of his?
Yeah.
It doesn't work, I don't think.
Yeah, but he had fun with his kid, which I think
Ye-
was more the point of that movie than anything else.
Yeah, yeah, it was. Yeah, she got to be in her own movie, so that was kind of fun.
Right. Right.
Uh,
So and Tyler and I were talking off air. This could kick off a book club because starting in August, Kodansha is reissuing in hardcover format in the updated translation and lettering from the 35th anniversary box set, um, with the original Japanese language hand drawn sound effects and original right to left manga reading. We have The Return of Akira, the epic, timeless hit that inspired the legendary anime film and made the word manga part of the global vocabulary, returns
right.
in hardcover edition. 38 years have passed since the end of World War III, and the megalopolis of Neo Tokyo has sprung from the bones of the devastated old city. By night, the borderlands between glittering towers and irradiated ruins are ruled by criminals, cultists, and street gangs. Two childhood friends and rivals, Kaneda and Tetsuo, ride with one of these gangs. By day, the military and secret elite toy with the psychic phenomena that caused the devastation in the first place. A high speed incident on a decrepit express road will lead to a collision between Tetsuo, Kaneda, and forces they cannot hope to understand, and that will change them forever. I've only
Cool,
read
cool.
all of Akira once.
Okay.
Um, and it took me a while to like completely get into, particularly because
Yes.
it's totally one of those manga that has such a reputation that like you feel like there's something wrong with you if you don't immediately love it. Um,
Yes, I have tried to start it. I will say that, and yeah, I haven't got past
well, and
whatever volume I have on
it
my shelf,
starts
but.
kind of in media res. And
Hmm.
that's part of the issue. Like it takes a while to figure out what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
I don't know that I realized that it was 38 years after the end of World War III until I read this. Like the
Yeah.
rest of that
True.
I knew, but I don't know if I fully grasped that part yet. I don't
I
know if
knew that
that
we were.
means that I hadn't got into it or what.
I knew that we were in a post
You should, right, right,
you know
right,
post-war situation, but I didn't know specifically World War III.
right. I
Um,
didn't know how tied it was supposed to be to a real world, etc. So yeah, I think that I think that it coming out in hardcover is going to be a definite excuse to um revisit it.
Definitely.
Because
Cool, cool.
what it definitely is one of those comics that whether hate it, love it, or don't care, if you're a
Yeah.
comics geek, geek, you should have read it.
You should know what it is for sure.
You should definitely know what it is, but you should actually take the time to read it. It's like influenced so much. It's so many of your favorite creators' favorite comic that
Yep.
whether you like it as much, I mean, it's kind of like I don't like Watchmen as much as tons of people like Watchmen. I appreciate why it's good and why it's important and whatever, right? But
Yep.
like I don't like it as much as a lot of people like it. And I still read it every 5 to 10 years because
The main stuff, yes, but I do not read the newer stuff that's been
yeah,
released.
no, I get that. But I read the original Watchmen every 5 to 10 years
Same. Yeah, I would say I do the same.
because even if I don't like it, it's still such an influence on comics that I want to. I want to see how my opinion has changed the more other things that I've read. B, I want to just have it fresh enough that I know what I'm talking about, that I can see the way it's influenced comics or still influences comics. I mean,
Yep.
it's one of the foundational works. So is Akira, you know.
Yep.
Um,
I get that. Makes sense.
yeah.
All
Speaking of
right.
foundational works,
Yes. So this is Will
because I
Eisner.
definitely reread my Eisner pretty regularly too.
Yeah, Will Eisner, a comics biography by Stephen Weiner. Explore the life of Will Eisner, one of the most influential artists in the history of comics, through the most appropriate medium, a graphic novel. From his immigrant roots and childhood in New York, starting his own
Wait a minute.
comic studio, and
Immigrants do good things?
they
Yeah.
do. They do. Starting his own comic studio and business, and the creation and publication of his beloved comic, The Spirit, through popularizing the term graphic novel as the result of trying to convince a general trade publisher to publish the groundbreaking a Contract with God. You'll follow along in Eisner's life journey. With the most prestigious comic awards named after him, Will Eisner is forever celebrated not only in what he created, but his unerring belief in comics' capacity to be better, to reach higher, to be a full art form in its own right. This is the life of this man of vision who helped to put comics on the map, and it includes an afterwards by Jeff Smith. This is
I
going to
feel
be,
like this is another one that's going to inspire episodes, or at least an episode,
yeah,
like a Will Eisner roundtable or something.
yeah, July 16th, you guys.
Yeah.
Should be pretty cool.
From Stephen Weiner and Dan Mazer at NBM. Lost Marvels hardcover number 2. Howard Chaykin Volume 1. So Fantagraphics and Marvel have gotten together and started collecting some of the stories that Marvel hasn't previously collected elsewhere. Their first volume, which actually I think hasn't actually come out yet, but was solicited already. Um, Actually, I have it on the screen, so we're going to take a quick look at. Yeah, their first volume comes out this week, April 30th, and involves stories from Neil Adams, Jim Steranko, Barry Windsor Smith. So it's more it collects a type of comics. They had kind of an EC style anthology series called Tower of Shadows, um, that's never been collected. And Fantagraphics and Marvel got together to print that. But now they're getting together and they're doing it around an artist, and one that I love, Howard Chaykin. So when Howard Chaykin broke into comics in the 70s, there was nothing quite like him. His original characters, Dominic Fortune and Monarch Starstalker, took
Hmm.
classic pulp heroes and ran them through a postmodern blender. This new volume contains the retro science fiction bounty hunter Monarch Starstalker's debut appearance and all Chaykin color comic book Dominic Fortune stories, including the character's unexpurgated Max series, published a generation later. Completing the package is the collision between pulp heroism and the devastating bloody realities of World War I in Chaykin's 111-page collaboration with writer Garth Ennis on War is Hell, the first flight of the Phantom Eagle. Um, so yeah, it's some classic and really outstanding Howard Chaykin material that hasn't been reprinted and or hasn't been reprinted in a while, all in one volume. Available August 13th from Fantagraphics Books with the cooperation of Marvel Comics. Yeah.
Looks awesome.
Here you go.
Oh, the Patchwork Girl of Oz is coming out as a trade paperback.
Well, the
This
first
is
volume,
yeah,
one through
first volume.
five, will not get us through the entire story. Just
Nope.
making that clear
Otis.
right now.
Yeah, I I'm just riffing here. Adam Otis Frampton brings Frank L. Baum's story to life. So join Ojo the Unlucky and his newfound friend Scraps, the exuberant and unpredictable patchwork girl, on an epic quest to find the magical ingredients needed to free Ojo's uncle from a wicked spell. Along the way, they encounter an array of oddball characters, face perilous challenges, and uncover the deep mysteries of Oz. This collection will be in shops on July 23rd.
I definitely need to reach out to Otis.
Yeah.
We've had some social media interaction. We should turn that into podcast interaction because you and I have both been loving this series.
Well, I love it. I mean, because it's definitely all ages book. It's introducing my daughter to the world of Oz beyond
Mhm.
the Wizard of Oz, right? Movie. And it's just fun.
And his art is really perfect for it. I mean, I thought Scotty Young was pretty perfect for art when he was doing the adaptations. And if anything, I like Frampton's style for Oz better than Scotty's, and certainly as
Yeah,
much as Scotty's.
Scotty's is definitely Scotty Young, right? It's definitely got
Right,
his flavor to it. And
right.
this feels a little bit more true to what I would think of as Oz in my head. Um,
Yeah.
but
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, it's great to see more faithful comic adaptations of Oz just in general, because I love Oz and I love comics, and therefore putting the two of them together is beautiful.
And then I also picked out Plot Holes.
Yeah,
This is
this is
the
something that I think you and I both have like the first couple of issues to, but like our
Yep.
stores didn't get.
I never saw it again. After I picked
Right.
up the I
So
so
I'm psyched to see it collected.
yeah. Um, can you still hear me, Ted?
I can.
Okay, I'm losing my AirPods. They just went dead on me. I'm gonna switch here. Bear with me before I read this, all right?
No, I
Yeah.
won't bear with you.
Off.
You're a bum. I don't bear with you. The hell with you. Oh, wait, can you hear me now? I meant absolutely. You're the greatest guy in the world.
Thanks, Ted. I can hear you. Hold on. I'm just trying to get my stupid device to unconnect.
Well,
Well,
while we're doing that, I'm going to steal a little of your thunder. The plot holes are a squad of fictional warriors who transport themselves into the pages of other books, using their unique skills to save the plots in order to stop them from being destroyed. And Cliff is their newest recruit, a comic creator who's just realized his world isn't real. In fact, it's the complete fiction that literally exists inside a novel. The other members are misfits like him, pulled from the unpublished books that couldn't be saved. A manga samurai, a barbarian tiger, a kid from a comic strip, and a vampire assassin. Outclassed by the other members, Cliff sets out to prove his worth to the plot holes as they fight to save as many books as possible. Take it away, Tyler.
Um, so this, you guys, I didn't hear if Tad said the who wrote it, but this is Sean Gordon Murphy and Matt Hollingsworth and Dave Stewart, you guys, from is this Massive?
Massive.
Yeah, and it's coming out July 16th.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I left you some stuff, Tyler. I didn't want dead air.
I couldn't hear because I
I
was
sometimes
taking.
have trouble with dead air myself, so I was trying to help you out this time where it
Perfect.
was your fault rather than mine.
Perfect.
It's normally my fault and you have to fill the space. So
That's
I was trying to pay it back.
sure. No, I get that.
Yeah. Walt Disney's Donald Duck. Donald Duck's Finds Pirate Gold. The first volume of the complete Carl Barks library. At last, Fantagraphics presents Carl Barks' very first Donald Duck stories. This is where it all started, as Carl Barks took control of Donald Duck's comic book adventures and began a series of clever, creative, complex, and comedic stories that would continue under his cartooning brilliance for more than 20 years and guarantee his place in comics history. It's filled with Barks' first comic book story, starring Pluto, his first Donald Duck story, created for an American comic book, or no, the first Donald Duck story created for an American comic book. Also, the first see Donald and his nephews go on a treasure hunt. Barks' first Donald 10-pager, his first truly solo Donald Duck story, and his first solo long-form Donald Duck adventure, The Mummy's Ring. More than 200 pages of story are each meticulously restored and newly colored, and the insightful story notes by the international panel of Barks experts. Long-awaited collection of stories makes clear what generations of Disney fans have always known. Carl Barks' work as the good duck artist is some of the greatest American cartooning in the history of the medium. In stores on August 27th.
Yeah, it
Love
looks so cool.
Carl
Like I'm so
Barks.
glad Fantagraphics is doing this.
Love me some Carl Barks.
Uh-huh.
So,
For sure.
yeah. Collection, or no, not collections. Final order cut off this week. We've got Dark Honor #1 from Ethan Sachs, K.S. Bruce, and Brian De Cubilis, and Fico Asio. Art by Fico Asio. Image Comics out in May 28th. DC Pride 2025 by various writers and artists will be in stores June 4th. The Goddamn Tragedy from Chris Condon and Sean Carunero will be out May 28th. I think that's from Oni. I neglected to put it in. So if I'm wrong, sorry, Chris, but I'm pretty certain I'm right because I know Chris. Collected edition of The Long Cold Winter from Francesca Perillo and Stefano Cardacelli from Mad Cave on May 28th. Mommy Blog one shot from Marguerite Bennett and Eleonora Carlini from Image on May 28th. Pale Night #1 from Peter Milligan and Val Rodriguez at Mad Cave on May 28th. And The Umbrella Academy Plan B #1 from Gerard Way and Gabriel Ba at Dark Horse coming out June 11th. All of these are final order cutoff a week from tomorrow, which is Monday, May 5th. So tell your comic shops now that you want them so that they can get their orders in. Remember, pre-orders are incredibly important in the publishing world, period, but especially in comics because it has a lot to do with decisions made on how many they print. Since many of the artists get paid based on how many are sold, how many they print matters because it can sometimes be a cap on how much they're likely to make. Yes, there are sometimes reprints, etc., but like reprints are more likely if they sell out fast, which means your orders now are what matters.
Yes.
So yeah, crowdfunding. We have Life on Pause from Cena Grace at Kickstarter through May 9th. Unicorn Vampire Hunter from Caleb Palmquist on Kickstarter through May 9th. That Sexy Bear from Owlin and Iron Circus Comics on Kickstarter through May 22nd. And the Complete Lunch Comics of James Vanderberg on Kickstarter through June.
I'm really excited for that. That's going to be cool.
I'm actually really excited for That Sexy Bear, and C. Spike Trotman, the founder and publisher of Iron Circus Comics, will be joining us I think May 5th. So in about a week. Yeah.
Perfect.
So Tyler, what'd you love this week? It was a good week.
It was, and it was hard to pick, but
I was partially able to pick because my top two,
yeah,
I doubled up.
so Yes, what we had was X-Force number 10 in Marvel Legacy numbering. It was number 300. And the reason I put this on here is I get the vibe that this is the end of X-Force, at least this run. I think that they're going to take a break from it for a while.
I think X Factor is ending after 10 too, because they
Yeah.
know it's not in the new catalog.
Yeah. Yep. So this was Jeffrey Thorne and Marcus 2 from Marvel. Kind of wrapped up this current storyline. It was great because it brought Cable back. I mean, Cable's the one who started X-Force, and so it just kind of like took you through a little bit of like where Cable took the New Mutants and formed X-Force out of that. It was kind of cool. And then Batman 159 from Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee. This continues the Hush 2 storyline, which I'm on board for.
I'm going to read it when they're done with it.
Yeah, I'm going to do it throughout the run here. What is it, 5 issues?
Yeah.
Something like that.
I jumped off when Zdarsky was done, even though this was coming.
Yeah.
And I'll read it when they're done with it.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it, but I decided that I'll read it when they're done with it.
It's good. We got Black Hammer Spiral City number 5.
So good.
Yeah, it was really good, you guys. Again, Inspector Insector, he's just having this, existential crisis about what he is really and what he can do.
My top books last week, as I mentioned already, I did some cheating, and I did some cheating because like Out of Alcatraz was amazing, and Absolute Wonder Woman 7 was amazing, and Epitaphs from the Abyss 10 was amazing, and Green Arrow 23 was amazing, and Those Not Afraid number 4 was fucking amazing, and Spectrum number 5 was amazing. Like so there were a lot of good books last week.
Yeah.
So much so that I also cheated on my top 2. Absolute Martian Manhunter number 2 and Assorted Crisis Events number 2 from Dennis Camp and Javier Rodriguez, and Dennis Camp and Eric Zawadsky and DC and Image respectively. Assorted Crisis Events number 2 might have made the top of my list anyway.
Yeah.
But Absolute Manhunter number 2 also would have probably made my top 3. So I decided to just give them the top spot together. I'm surprised that you actually picked Black Hammer over Minor Arcana, even among Jeff Lemire books this week.
Here's why. I didn't get Minor Arcana. They were sold out when I got there. So what I was doing while you were talking, Ted, I'm looking to where I can buy it because I got to the store and it was sold out. So
gotcha. This is the advantage of ordering in advance, like we try to teach people on this podcast, Tyler.
I'm like, I'm half there. I have about half my books there.
Yeah, Minor Arcana number 6, like I said, easily could have been a top 3 all by itself. Black Hammer Spiral City did make Tyler's top 3 and like would have been fighting with a number of books for my top 3. So I just put them together in the 2 spot, and that's the only reason that Paul Tobin and Carlos Javier Alvarez, who totally stuck the landing on string number 5.
Yeah, I heard
it was completely stuck the landing on string number 5. Are in the 3 spot.
Yeah,
because if I didn't combine my top 2, it would have been between Assorted Crisis Events and string for the number 1 spot.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know which way I would have fallen because there's something special about sticking the landing on a series. Particularly when you manage to stick the landing on a series and leave the door open for more with the characters, which I think is even harder to do with a limited series with original characters than it is like when you're, I just did a run on Spider-Man, right? Spider-Man's going to go on no matter what. So if you stick the landing but leave a door open, it never feels like too much of a tease, right?
Whereas
Yep.
with a otherwise self-contained creator-owned series, leaving the door open too hard or too
Yeah.
far
Yep.
can feel like way too much of a tease.
I agree.
Because the reality is there's a really good chance that we'll never see these characters again. So if you leave the door open too far, it affects rereadability.
Yeah, I agree. It makes you feel
Right.
like, well, I don't want to read that. It never ended.
Right. Um, but I feel like Tobin managed to like very, very, and like I already reached out to Paul. I'm like, I would really like to talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to come back to 22 panels. um, because it it was like again like that really well threaded the story itself was wrapped up really well in a slightly unexpected way, um which like I don't understand why people love twist endings to me more times than not are gimmicks. You know,
Yes.
the number of twist endings that I think actually make the thing better are slim. It's a good way to end something that you couldn't figure out how to end otherwise, so that people won't immediately bash your ending, right? Um, this one was a twist, but not really, because like you realized really quickly that like no, this is actually how it had to end. The twist was the fact that like you got here without realizing that this was how it was going to have to end.
Yeah. I see. I can see what you're saying.
I don't know if you've read it yet, so I'm
I have not read number 5. No.
more than anything trying not to spoil it for you right now.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, you realize that this was the only way that it could end.
Okay.
Well, technically one of two ways that it could end, but the only ending that you were going to be happy with as a reader.
Yes. I get it.
So yeah, yeah, it was just outstanding. So on to the One Piece race, and I don't even really want to talk about One Piece because I have read the second half of the chapter that I was reading when we went on air last week.
All right. Okay.
So everything we said last week, that still applies.
You know, we can talk about One Piece for just a minute.
You can say
Not
something.
necessarily the manga, but watching the anime and getting to see Luffy come to life is so much different. Like it's like crazy. You're like, I mean, you read him, but like seeing how like it's different. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the anime a lot.
I will have to check it out at some point.
Yeah. All right. So
yeah.
Going on
Now,
to Monstress.
Monstress, I got shit to say.
Okay.
I mean, starting with Kippa is fucking awesome.
Yes. Yeah. I'm gonna pull it up here.
I mean, we have loved Kippa since day one, but like now we know that not only does Kippa have the biggest heart, Kippa might be the biggest badass.
Yeah.
And not in a strictly John Wick, I'll kick everybody's ass way. More in the I can hold my own more times than not, and regardless of whether I can, I'm not afraid of you.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
what are your thoughts?
She's fearless.
Overall?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
fearless and also completely and utterly compassionate. You don't see those qualities together very often.
Right. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, exactly. She's just the character development of Kippa has to me come a long way from where we saw her in volume 1 in the prison cell, right?
Right.
And then Yeah, she's just
But like her, tell me if you see it this way. But to me, her fearlessness comes from her compassion. Her fearlessness comes from I am morally right.
mm-hmm. And she will do
So if
whatever it
I
takes.
die today because of that, fine,
Yeah.
because I'm morally right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she's not going to back down from that because I mean, regardless, I don't know. It's inspiring.
And I'm not going to hurt you any more than I have to. I'm not going to hurt you at all if I can avoid it because that's also morally wrong.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, she's just like, oh, and man, this whole like arc, we're in that they're in that other realm, and we learn more about the gods and the cats, and like everything just got so much deeper.
So much bigger. Um,
And I can't wait for volume 9 to come out because we don't get to talk monsters for a while now.
no, but I'm glad we did this so that we can
Yeah.
I'm glad we're adding this to the repertoire of like as the new volume hits, we can
Mm-hmm.
talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just really digging the even the art style of the steampunk kind of
Mm-hmm.
vibe to it. I've
Oh,
always been,
Sana Takeda is killing it.
yeah, right. And I love it that the whole book isn't steampunk, right?
Right.
It's just certain aspects are, and I think that's really
Right.
cool. Like just this great fusion of, like we talk about the Asian myth and yeah, I'm just loving the whole package.
Well, and like I think my first question for Takeda at this point is like, do you regret the complexity of the ancient ones slash defiled, etc.? Because you've had to draw all those tentacles, all those details for 50 plus issues now.
Yep, I'm looking at okay, just for example, right? I'm looking at that one where they're in bed together. I'm looking at page 26, where the again we were talking about the tentacles going everywhere and like all the eyeballs and just all these strings and things. It just looks like it would be, I don't know, pain in the ass to draw all that. And you look at the backgrounds, right? Look at the ornateness of the bed frame and the drapes and and then on top of that, to do all of the like, the color work of the getting that mist kind of feel to it, just takes a lot of time and energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm blown away with the artwork. I mean, my only slam on it at all, and it's not a big one, is that sometimes it's so detailed that I have to spend a little bit more time to figure out the story being told. But it's never because the story's being told badly.
Yeah.
It's because I'm being forced to slow down. So it's not even really a slam as
I,
much as it's a way that it is a different comics reading experience to me.
it feels, yeah, right. The artwork seems deeper than the actual dialogue. The
Right.
story is deep, don't get me wrong, but the actual dialogue is happening over the top of these super elaborate backgrounds. And there is a juxtaposition there where it just feels a little uncomfortable, but uh I enjoy it.
Yeah, no, I'm very much looking forward to where it goes next.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
have no idea where we are in the story arc.
no,
I
no.
mean, I don't know. I mean, I could see ways that could be wrapped up this arc. I could see ways where we're not even out of the first act.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have no idea if I should expect this to be
like 60 issues or 600 issues.
I've kind of like felt like it's about
And I
a 100
love
issue
that.
thing. Yeah.
And I love that. I mean, I don't, that's not a complaint.
I've
There's
always
been,
felt like we're about halfway, I guess, is what I feel.
yeah, but I felt that like 3 volumes ago too.
Okay. Cool.
Like I felt like when we met the Dusk Court and we met the her father and what is it, the Blood Court?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is a major, major turning point. And now it's like, okay, but was that the turning point? Or was that like the end of Act One? Or was it the turning point in Act One?
Yep.
Because this actually felt more like either the turning point or the end of Act One. And I actually lean more towards the end of Act One. They've all
Yep.
gone through this massive growth and understanding, and now they're bringing some ancient creatures back into the world.
Yeah.
Act two will be what happens, and Act three will be how it resolves. Because I can't imagine that it's going to be a quick resolution. It just doesn't feel like the type of comic that will have a quick resolution, or should.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yes.
So right now I'm leaning way more 150 issues or more. I feel
I can
like
see that.
we're we're on for the ride, and I
Mm-hmm.
love it. Um, yeah,
Cool. Yeah, I love it. It's so much fun. It's so deep and mythological. To me,
right.
there's a Lord of the Rings quality to
Yeah.
the gods, right? They've kind of got a Sauron feel to the artwork. Um, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. No, I'm so glad I finally, man, it's been on my radar since like, I mean, I think I read volume 1 before volume 2 had even come out and like debated trying to jump on single issues then. And the only reason I didn't was it was dense enough that I was concerned about whether or not I would stay on them on a monthly basis, whether they would start to pile up. If when they piled up, I would fall even more behind, that sort of thing. I think doing the serious 8-week binge to get caught up and now picking it up a trade paperback at a time, so probably like one a year until it's done, is going to be much more the way that I'm like most likely to enjoy it.
Yeah, I think this is a great way that I'm going to flip my screen.
Yeah.
I think this is a great way for us to get caught up, right? Because now,
Right.
after this volume, we're where they're at.
I mean, we talked about this briefly on Love and Rockets yesterday.
Yep.
There's a part of me that's like, how did I miss this in all of my early comics years?
Yes.
But there's another part of me that's like, I don't know if I would have appreciated it properly. And what would be worse than not having read Love and Rockets until I was in my 30s, having read just enough Love and Rockets to decide that I didn't like it
And then never go back.
when I was a teenager, and having it be that much longer before I returned to it.
Yep. I agree. Getting exposed to something at the wrong time.
Well, but that's also a challenge of serial storytelling to begin with.
Okay.
You know, um, how easy would it have been to have jumped off somewhere in those first 18 issues where there was a lot of character development, but you barely understood the world, much less the plot?
Yes, exactly.
Clearly they have enough sales that they can keep going, and or I know Marjorie Liu A writes other books and B was a lawyer, so maybe they have enough of a cushion that they like were able to decide that they were going to keep going no matter what. Um, but there are so many reasons why this book could have not made it to here.
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
Because it's a tough read. I mean, it's not
but
urgent.
it's so good.
Uh-huh.
It's another statement about like how many different things comics can be,
Yeah.
and I really don't know another medium that you could do this in.
No.
I mean, think
No.
about
Not
some
and
of
not have such a.
the eternal creatures. Think about some of the ways that they've handled segments that were either in other realms or inside their heads or whatnot. Can you really imagine a way where that would work in film that wasn't actually I'm not gonna say that it couldn't work in film because the most two recent Into the Spider-Verse movies have shown that some US animators have figured out what Japanese animators have known for a while, which is anything you can do in comics, you can adapt to film if you're willing to have the film be very much like comics.
Yeah, and be weird. Yeah.
But most of US animation like tries to run from its comics roots rather than embrace it,
Yeah. I agree.
right?
Yep.
Um, I mean, I remember how much I loved it when I was watching the first Spider-Verse movie, and the Kingpin they used was the Bill Sienkiewicz Kingpin from Love and War.
Yep.
You know, it's like fucking A. That's amazing. I never expected to see that kind of art in an animated movie.
Exactly. I think it worked both ways for Into the Spider-Verse. They took a big chance with the animation,
Yeah.
and a lot of people were like, "This is so weird. I can't watch
Not
this."
the comics people, though.
Nope.
And actually, I'm gonna say two things: not the comics people,
Yeah.
and not the movie people who aren't really animated movie people. In general, the people who were most upset by the weirdness
Yeah.
were the people who love animated movies of the Disney or DC universe or whatever vein and looked at this as, what the hell is this?
I know it's too artsy.
If they were people who were into film and people who were into comics both went, oh, this is how you do it.
Exactly.
You know, it's the favorite animated movie of like film lovers who don't like animation and the favorite comic book movie of comic lovers who don't like comic movies. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I can see that. Yep.
Um so I won't say that like it couldn't be done in an animation or a live action animation hybrid. But if it was done in film, it would be done in ways that nobody has imagined yet except on a comic page. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Which I think if Saga is ever made into film, it's going to be that too. It's going to be somebody who goes, I want to learn from what you did and shift it to film, not take my film learning and cram your book into it.
Right. Yep.
I want to figure out how to use my medium to tell your story, not take your story and cram it into my medium as as it exists right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, it's been such a fun ride. I'm almost sad that we're going to be away from it for a while, though I think Monsters Volume 9 might already be announced. Let me see. I mean, Monsters Volume 10 is coming up when I
Google it. Okay, not volume
Google it.
9.
So, Monstress Volume 9. Oh, Monstress Volume 9 is available. It's just not on um, Global Comics yet. So I take that back. We're going to do one more week of Monstress before we go into Lazarus.
Yay! I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad 9 is out. I thought we had to wait for it.
Yeah. Phil will be a little disappointed because he was looking forward to starting Lazarus, and I am too, but Lazarus is going to be an interesting run, and I think we're going to be happy to split it up because I think we should go through issue by issue. I think we should spend some time on, Greg Rucka has always had back matter to Lazarus that kind of explains why he made decisions, based on real world things. So there's like supplemental reading to go into it. And like, unfortunately, every fucking day, the world of Lazarus feels a little less science fiction.
Oh, yes, 100%.
So I feel like it's going to be very worth going through slowly, while at the same time, um, taking breaks.
Yeah.
Having excuses to take breaks, making excuses to take breaks. Hey, we just finished up a story arc, so rather than being depressed again next week, we're going to read some Duck comics or some Archie, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. That sounds like a good idea.
So yeah.
Anyway,
but yeah,
Ted,
no, it looks like volume 9 is available, so we will do that next week. Let us, since your dog really wants your attention, let's jump into books that we hope will be spectacular.
I was even going to say before that, I said I was hoping we would be able to wrap it up because I have to use the bathroom. Not so much my dog, but
well, okay, then I will move super super fast. Things I know are spectacular.
yeah,
We're taking everyone down with us. Number 2 from Matthew Rosenberg, Stefano Landini, and Howl number 4 from Alyssa Whitney and Morissette. Things that I hope will be spectacular and am pretty certain will be. Bitterroot number 2 from David F. Walker, Chuck Brown, and Sanford Green. You'll Do Bad Things number 2 from Tyler Boss and Adriano Turtolucci. And Who Are the Power Pals number 2 from Duane Murray and Ahmad Rafat. This is a week for number 2s.
Yeah.
For those who collected in trade paperback, Saga Volume 12 comes out this week. The Cabby Definitive Edition also looks really fucking good from Marty Riera Ferrer at Fantagraphics. Muybridge, we've talked about many times, from Guy Lyle, comes out at Drawn and Quarterly this week. Tyler, what are you looking forward to?
Well, I'm really looking forward to Chris Claremont's new take on Wolverine and Kitty Pryde. Number 1 from, again, Chris Claremont and Damian Cusero from Marvel. Snot Girls coming out with number 20, Brian Lee O'Malley and Leslie Hung from Image. And Batman, The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween, number 7 from Jeff Loeb and Dave Johnson. I don't know why it has V on there, but yeah, so I'm really looking forward to The Long Halloween being wrapped up. Well, it's like issue 10, I think, is the end of it.
Right. Other amazing books coming out next week. We've got Godzilla versus Los Angeles. We've got Grimm number 22. We've got Lost Fantasy number 1 from Kurt Pyers. We've got Patchwork Girl of Oz number 4. We've got the new Bad Idea book, Planet Death number 0. The Question All Alone Watchtower number 6 is wrapping up, and Paul Tobin has Dark Pyramid number 2, and Tony Fleeks has Feral number 12. Also, The Slasher's Apprentice number 1 at Mad Cave. I think that's everything worth talking about. You got anything else, Tyler?
No, I think that about covered it.
Then take us out of here so you can go to the bathroom.
All right, guys. And I think she's got to go. That's why she's on my lap. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. We will catch you guys after the next page. Later.
Hey guys, this is Tyler from 22 Panels. I'm here to tell you all about our Patreon. If you enjoy this show, please consider donating to our Patreon to keep this show going. We have many different tiers, all different levels to help you decide what's right for you. Okay, so get on out there to patreon.com/22panelspodcast.